Hello guys. Oh, I'm almost done with preparation. I'm back again to talk about a new topic, very interesting one that I was contemplating for some time already. And this topic came up to my awareness exactly a year ago. So let's say contemplation of 1 year to talk about a specific topic like mirroring. So let's see who's in the house. Okay. Mm, how can I do it? Let's say with microphone. Do you hear me well? Would be very awesome if you let me know. Can you hear me? Because last time when I was doing a video, it was without the sound. So I want to make sure that this time, guys, you can hear me because this topic is so important, brings so much awareness, and you can maneuver through life so much more easier. When I found out the key of this saying that people started using a way to deflect and to manipulate, it gave me so much confidence in standing in my own truth, in my own integrity. So, guys, do you hear me? Please let me know. Let's see the chat. Okay, looks like okay. Okay. Oh, by the way, I am doing this video live from my holidays place in the island, and it's a vacation house. Unfortunately, I can't show you more beautiful places, just a bit of this one. Or maybe I can transfer myself here so you can see more flowers. Ouch! Yes, looks better. So, today I want to talk about mirroring. What exactly people are reflecting you back about you. I bet you all heard that famous saying that comes from a spiritual community that your external environment is a reflection of you. That people, when we meet people, that they are a reflection of you, right? And what happened eventually with the saying, it became very popular even in a spiritual community to deflect with this saying. By that I mean that people are using this saying to excuse their own uh, their own unhealthy behavior. For example, like if somebody is in a very abusive, unhealthy relationship, and one of them uses this loud and popular phrase that if if you're with me, if you're attracted me, then I'm a reflection of you, so how can you judge me, right? So basically the one who is perpetrator, the one who is aggressor, is using this phrase to excuse their own behavior by projecting their own shadow on another person and trying to convince the other person that they have the same shadow, that they are the same abusive ones. So I want to bring the more light on the saying, what does it really mean? Your external environment is a reflection of you. I will talk more about in terms when it comes to people. When we meet other people, what the message they reflect to us. Yes, I still agree 100% that our environment is always communicating a message for us about us. So when it comes to people, when we meet people, they can reflect three things. I know that some people know, and probably they will comment after all, so I want to in advance to say that yes, I heard about 7 mirrors that somebody came into awareness that people, specific people, can mirror you about you 7 things. I didn't go deep into that because I recognize my own version of mirroring that I want to share with you. So there are 3 ways how your environment, people of your environment, are telling the message to you about you. First message. Okay, I will say past, present, and future. 3 messages. And every single person, interaction with them, you can recognize. When you become more aware and conscious and present, I would say, you can recognize which message the person with their own behavior and reactions and responses they are telling about you. So, first message is about the past. And when I say the past, I mean both ways. Or it is a past life, or it is the past of this lifetime. And also, when it comes to past life, uh, I would say it's that not necessarily who you were in past life and so on. Those who don't believe the past life, people, you can see it as energy accumulated by your ancestral lineage, by what they experienced, what they saw, perceived, felt, all that was stored in their body, in their cells, because of the chemical process in the brain that was happening that produced those chemicals in the whole body. So, by that, from generation to generation, those chemicals were transferred. So, we can see past life in this term, the energy that was accumulated during the lifetimes of many ancestors of ours. So, when somebody reflects us, our past life, I call it they reflect us our shadow side. Something what something what we bring from another lifetime, or the energy that we accumulated, our karmic energy, I would say in other words, or if it's about this lifetime but in the past, then it would be something that you already dealt with, something what you already learned. For example, okay, what example could be? Yeah. Oh, okay, very recent experience of mine. Uh, if I will give my own personal experience as an example. So, quite recently, let's say a couple of months ago, I I used to find myself in conflicts with other authorities like other coaches. And I saw the pattern and I became aware and I realized why I was getting into those conflicts because I wasn't doing what I wanted. And what I wanted was exactly what those authorities that I am looking up to were doing. So basically, through confrontation with them, through expressing my knowledge and through expressing my knowledge and confronting them with opposing them actually, because I was showing off my, let's say, knowledge on the topics in the places where I didn't agree with them. So I was constantly putting myself into the conflict. And I realized that, and actually, one coach helped me in that conflict. She or he now, she uh, pointed out very well that Lily, you are making drama because you are not doing this what you want to do, what I'm doing, right? So I learned that. And now, lately, I am in another side of the story. I met a person who is my old version of me, who uh, shows the same behavior towards me as I used to show towards other coaches, towards other authorities that I was looking up to, right? So it's very important to recognize which part a person is reflecting. So this is the past part, something, your own shadow that you already dealt with, that is solved and resolved. Yes, the same shadow of ours might come up to the surface time after time, but from my experience, I can tell that even though sometimes it happens, especially at the beginning when we resolve it, when we become completely conscious and aware, it's so much easier and faster to snap yourself out of that because awareness kicks in. Lily, you're doing the same pattern. Your shadow is coming back, coming up again. So it's easy to set boundaries for yourself, for your own behavior, right? And eventually, as more we practice setting boundaries for our own shadow, it's much easier and faster completely to eliminate that characteristic trait of ours once and for all. And that's why some people will keep coming up into our life to remind us our past shadow that we already dealt with, right? So basically, this is already, I'm jumping in another topic, but a very interesting thing that people are triggering each other's shadow side. And it's important to recognize if this is your past shadow that you already dealt with, you need to set boundaries. And that's another topic. The real meaning of setting boundaries is we are setting boundaries actually not to another person. We are setting boundaries to our own shadow. And that shadow is our past experiences. So, yeah, this is first way how people are reflecting us a message about us. It's all about our past, what we dealt with, what we grew out of already. So they keep coming back to remind us the version that we used to be. And I would say what came just now, I would say that the reason for this happening is that we can help those people with their own shadow, to deal with their own shadow, because we already dealt with that. We already know how to deal with that. So instead of taking that behavior of our own past shadow very personally and reacting emotionally on it, we need to find more compassion. We need to see that person who is showing that our past version of ourselves, and we need to see ourselves in that person, the past version of ourselves in that person. And when we are able to see it, the level of compassion will grow, I promise you. It's like looking to yourself in the past. And how can you be mad on yourself, right? On your past version of self? Because you did what you knew with the tools that you had. You did the best what you knew with the tools that you had. So the same that person who reminds you your old version of self, right? So another mirror is the present, right? So when it comes to the present, very often this mirror is, I would say, from those three, past, present, and future, I would say the present one is the hardest one to recognize. Why so? Because a person who reflects us back, mirrors us back our present version of self, is something what is subconscious, something what we are not still aware of, but that person in front of us helps us to see that, helps us by mirroring, by reflecting. So basically, for this to recognize, we need to practice more and more awareness, more and more staying in the present moment. By the way, sorry guys if you hear those sounds, it's very beautiful, but I hope it's not disturbing. Those huh, those bells are, oh my god, so often. Okay, so where I left, that a person, there is a past version that people are reflecting, mirroring us back our past shadow that we already dealt with, that we learned. So they come up and show us the version that we used to be, or as I mentioned, the energy that was accumulated through our ancestral generation, with which we born, the energy that was transferred through epigenetics. Then what people reflect as and mirror back is present moment, when something what we are still not aware, but that person with that behavior tries to show us, like to mirror us back, look, look, look. And for example, I will give you an example. If yeah, if a person is very, for example, if I meet a person and I see that they are very judgmental. They judge everything around, and you can feel that in their tone, in their behavior, how they speak, how they basically judge people around them, right? And we don't like it. We don't like it. We point finger to that, but we are not aware that we are doing this. We think we are the good ones, but basically we might be those judgmental people, that judgmental person, right? It happened for me like a couple of years ago with my friend. Thanks to you, my dear, if you are watching this. We went to visit back to my country. She visited me and we were living together, and she showed me her presence mirrored me back the fact that I was very judgmental, not very judgmental, very controlling. Yeah, that was my issue. I was very controlling, And that's how she showed me that. She reflected me back that I am controlling. And people can reflect you back your own present, subconscious. Okay, I see myself. I stopped. Wait a second. I want to make sure if everything is alright. Guys, do you hear me? It's so strange. I see how the view just stopped in my camera. What just happened? Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. Oh, it's still going on. Yeah. Okay. Continue. So, the present person mirrors us back. I'm again frozen. What is happening? It looks like this message doesn't want to come out. Why? Okay, now it's moving. So, people are mirroring past, they are mirroring present. Present, who are mirroring, those sounds, they mirror subconscious stuff that we are not aware. That's why it's difficult to recognize. That's why we need to practice awareness and staying in the present moment. So when I was judging others, how to say, when I was perceiving other people as controlling ones, and I had so many uh, situations and relationships with people who had a tendency to control me, what I was thinking, what I was doing, um, messing up with my mind, and I was putting a judgment on them that they are controlling, right? But basically, another person came into my life and it reflected, mirrored me back that I'm the one who is controlling other people. And that's important. That's why it's important to recognize and to differentiate and to consult with yourself. When somebody gives you a critic, criticism, it's very important to consult with yourself. Is it really how I am? Am I doing this or no? Or did I used to do it in the past? Which version a person tries to communicate to me about me? My past version or my present version? Okay, so with the present we are done, and now when it comes to the future mirror, when specific people are mirroring us, the future version of ourselves. And this part I love so much actually. Uh, I came into realization like, oof, just like epiphany moment. Imagine all those authorities that we look up to, right? That we want to do something that another person does, or we want to have something what another person has, right? Those people that we feel jealousy for, let's be honest. Yes, we do feel jealousy for, and I'm not apologetic about it because I'm jealous like crazy. Because check my another video about jealousy, and jealousy is a very good thing. It helps to manifest, while envy is self-destructive feeling that doesn't help neither for one of the person. So those people that we are jealous for, right? Jealous for what they have, for what they do in life, and so on. Some people are competing with them, right? and probably you also have such experiences. They compete with them, they want to destroy them, and like, oh my god, dirty competition starts, and like going on the heads of another person. What they actually are competing with is their future self. So all those people who we perceive being better, doing better, having more, having better, those people are our future self, like our quantum possibility of our future self version. And that's why, guys, that's why envy and competition will never work out. Because how can something work out when a person is competing with their future version of self? For those who just came, I'm talking about mirroring, what different people are mirroring us and how to recognize it. So now the last part. First was mirroring us our shadow, something what comes from the past that we already dealt with, or the energy from past lifetimes. Second is presence, the most difficult to spot on because that presence we are not aware of. It's a subconscious stuff that another person tries to mirror us back in order for us to see it and deal with it. And now I'm talking about mirroring our future version of self. So all of those authorities that we look up to, they are our quantum possibilities of our future self. And that's why those who are competing in a dirty way, who are not cooperating with others, but they would rather compete, and envy, if there is envy involved, because jealousy and envy is not the same. Jealousy is a very good one. Envy, no. Jealousy helps to manifest because we want what another wants, but we doesn't want that person to lose that. Envy is also wants what another has, but envy person wishes ill to that person who has more, better, does more and better, right? So envy and competition with others will never win, will never bring a long run success, because people who are envy and who are competing, they are competing with their future self, the possibility, quantum possibility of their future self. That's why it's so important not to make fights with those people, not to go into some sort of pity party confrontations and trying to prove to them something that, for example, yeah, one of examples that I mentioned before, that I was in, I wanted to prove to other coaches that I know better, that I know more than them, or that my opinion is completely out of the box with what they're talking, that it's that I wanted to show them a different perspective, a different way of seeing the situation. And I always used to find myself in the conflict, because I was trying to prove myself, right? I was trying to compete with them. Subconsciously, I was trying to compete with my future self instead of starting and doing the work and do what those people are doing. So that's why it didn't work for me, and it never works for anybody else. So my honest advice would be, guys, cooperate with people. Cooperate with those who you perceive being successful. Cooperate with those who you look up to as an example of you wanting to be the same or wanting to do the same what another person does, right? So learn to put your ego aside. Nobody says that you know less. Nobody says that you are less. But if you gonna approach another person with energy of intervention and a conflict, then you are having a conflict with yourself. And that's how another way we can explain how everything is one. We are one. We are one consciousness. And that's the law of karma. What you do to another person, you do to yourself, because that another person is just a quantum possibility of your future version. So yeah, guys, mm, I think I told everything with this topic. Basically, three mirrors: past, present, and future. And in order to recognize what the message the person tries to communicate you about you, don't, first of all, don't fall for that trap saying that, oh, I'm just reflecting you. If I'm acting like this, it means you're acting like this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in your environment, because like attracts like, right? The law of attraction. How people take it so directly without any thinking. Uh, so, no, we attract different versions of ourselves. Yes, all those versions are telling the message about us. Just a question is which version of us they are communicating to us: past, present, or the future. With the past, advice: learn to set boundaries for your own shadow, because you already dealt with that, you already learned. So if you are not going to have those boundaries for your own shadow, you will keep repeating, you will keep inviting your past shadow into the present. Yeah, with the present, just question yourself. Question yourself, consult with yourself, regardless what other people are telling you. And by how it feels, you will know. And it's not what feels good that's right, what feels bad that's wrong. Mm-mm. Oftentimes, what feels bad is the right one. Because when that coach a couple of years ago hit my ego straight to my face with the saying that you are making drama now because you are not fulfilling your dream and projecting your wounds on me, on that coach, it hit me straight to my core, because at that time I was not taking actions. I was not doing what I wanted, what others were already doing. So not always what is right feels good. Very often what feels good might be wrong, and opposite. What feels bad is right, because that crash of my ego felt very bad, very very bad. But uh, yeah, my apologies. Message just distracted my attention. So the crash of ego feels very bad, but gut hits straight to the core, and you just know that it's right. When somebody shows you your own shadow, it never feels good, never. But it humbles. If you're open and willing to grow, that experience humbles. So just take that pill, swallow that hard pill, learn, accept yourself, accept your shadow, make changes, and move on to the next level. Yeah, and when it comes to the future, the tip I gave already, never compete and never be envy. And that's why those all successful people, that's why they're saying surround yourself with positive people, with successful people. Why? Because you're learning from them, because you're cooperating with them. And by doing so, I could even explain what happens scientifically on a quantum level. Atoms of each person are affecting how atoms work, affecting each other energetically. So if you are around successful people, they affect you in a positive way. But the moment you compete with positive people, that's it. They will not keep you in their own space. That's why they are successful, because they know who to keep, right? So for now, this is it. Let's see who wrote me with the message. Okay, it's not about the video. So for now, this is it. Enjoy your beautiful day, and I will come back with another topic about authorities and how. Okay, I will not tell the topic. You will see later on. Anyway, either ciao, guys. See you. Hear you around. By the way, if you have some questions about this topic, you're always welcome to ask me. See you guys. Ciao.